Hey guys, welcome to this new tutorial, an SDK tutorial, scenery editor tutorial. How do you call that? Um, this will be a different one from the previous one. If you have been following my channel, I'm gonna start a new series with lots of episodes. Let's see if we can do that, and it will be about the creation of an airport and the entire process of the creation of an airport. Uh, Runways and aprons, some polygons, and the creation of the 3D objects, maybe some animation, some conditional animation as well. So let's get started. The airport will be the LIDL ICAO. It's located in Italy. Airport of Legnago, a small airport for ultralight aircraft, but also acrobatic aircraft. Let's get started. To create a project, we must be in the scenery, so we can click fly, and let's go to the airport. So, okay, now our flight is loaded. We are sitting on the airport. I switch off all my engine and avionics and so on to avoid wasting fuel and battery. And let's go to create a new project. So let's go to Tools, Project Editor, Project, and create a new project. So the project editor is asking us where we want to save our project. This is my main project folder, and it's fine to create the project. I'm gonna give a project name. So the name will be the IKEO and Legnago. Legnago. I'm gonna press enter every time I write on a text box and create new project. So the project editor is asking us to add a package name. So the same Legnago LIDL Legnago, and the creator is me. So this is my name, and the company name is Mammo Design. I'm gonna press next. So what is the package type? It's an airport, of course. So we're gonna click airport and click next, and override existing airport. Yep, override LIDL because we are in LIDL. Or you can go create a new airport anywhere. You can place your plane anywhere in the world and create a new airport. If you want to create a new airport, you have to give it a AKO, maybe a new AKO. And we want to override the existing airport. So the airport is LIDL. Will be Legnago, and create airport. So what we have here? We have our package, which is called Mammo Design Airport LIDL Villa Bartolomeo. Villa Bartolomeo is the name of the airport, and this is our package. If you click down in this arrow, we already have an asset. They call that asset. An asset group called scenery, and with a BGL type. BGL are the compressed, the compiled format of the Flight Simulator files. So let's click on the scenery and click on View Inspector. So we can see the name of this package, that is scenery, the type BGL, where it is located in package sources scenery. Package sources is a folder inside our project, and this is the asset directory, and we will have an output directory which will be scenery Mammo Design. I don't like this kind of directory for my output folder, and I'm gonna write LIDL Legnago, maybe with Mammo Design on top of that. Also press enter. You can see this little asterisk. We are gonna make changes to the project so we can save project safe. To avoid crashes. Also, I don't like the name scenery because it's too common. I would like to call this LIDL placement and press enter. And of course, the package sources, I don't like this name. I want this to be in another folder. So if you click the three dots to select the folder, we can see that inside our main project, the SDK has already created a new folder with the name of the project. We can get into and we can see package sources folder, a package definition folder, and a package int. By now, we can look inside the package sources because we want to change this name. And the package sources will be not synergies, but I want it to be LIDL placement. Okay, and it's changing accordingly. And we can, of course, load this in our editor, of course, but we can add some other assets. Okay, so we need to add at least another asset group to our project, and this is the project. So to add another asset group, you can click on the project, this is of course package, click on the inspector, and scroll down until we find add asset group. You can see here our LIDL placement asset group. Let's add another one, add an asset group. It's not another airport, of course, it's not a visual effects, so it will be a custom asset group. Click next, and the name of our asset group will be LIDL and model lib, and press enter. And the type of this asset group is gonna be a model lib, and click create. Okay, and we have two asset groups, LIDL placement and LIDL model lib, and the same is in our package. There is another thing, it's important, and we must do that now. So we should do that now, because if we don't do that, the SDK is gonna throw us an error. Thumbnail is mandatory and the size is mandatory, so we must click on this black box, and we should search on our hard drive for a 412 by 170 image, and we can create that. But there is, of course, one image like this in the SDK documentation. So let's go in the SDK, MFS SDK, into the samples. Let's take a sample scenario. Sample scenario is here. Inside the package definitions, content info, and that's the thumbnail placeholder. We're gonna make, of course, another one with our scenery as soon as it is complete. Okay, we are good to go. So let's click on project save, and then we can start editing our scenery. So let's click on the placement BGL inspector and load in editor. Okay, they are always here. When you load a BGL, automatically the scenery editor is loaded as well. And inside the scenery editor, we have a lot of objects. All of these are objects. This is an object airport that we have created with a wizard. And to see what's inside that object, its properties, we have to click on View Properties. And this is the Properties panel. So we can have various information about the airport, and we have our IKEA. We can just put in the display name, and the display name is Legnago, and the region name is Veneto, and the country name is Italy, and the city is Legnago, and the airport name, of course, is Aeroporto di Legnago, which is in Italian aeroporto di Legnago. Okay, my variation, you can take that from the charts. And then we have some very useful options. Flatten will flatten off the airport, and usually we don't want to do that. Star airport, we can check this. If we check this, we will see in the Flight Simulator map a star on our airport. And we have some useful commands. Ground merging, I don't use that. Delete command, this is pretty important if you want to start a brand new airport with anything in it made by Asobo. Deleting this all these guys will delete everything in the airport. At the moment, I don't want to delete anything but the runways and the starts, because I'm gonna add them manually. Look, we have an asterisk, so we have changed our scenery, and we can click on save scenery to save it. Okay, so let's continue with the editing, and I'm gonna go to the camera, developer camera, which I'm already there, and by pressing the Alt key on your keyboard and the mouse key, we can pan, and now I'm using the scroll wheel on the mouse, and we can zoom with the scroll wheel, and by pressing Alt and the Alt key on your keyboard and then pressing the central button of your mouse, we can pan and on your scenery. So let's zoom in, and we have our project. First thing first, let's get rid of those trees because they are not in the real airport. To do that, we should add a user polygon, and the polygon and all our objects are available in View Objects menu. Of course, you can stack the object window or the window all upon the other by moving them, but I like to keep my object by now here in the scenery. So click on this drop-down menu and click on polygon, and the polygon, the polygon is here, and then I'm going to click on add. Nothing happens if we click on the scenery editor. We get an error. A new polygon is going to be created. A red cross is the point where we are going to place the points of our polygon. So to place a point, you should click the control key and the left mouse click. So control and left mouse and start dragging. I'm keeping the control key and click the left mouse. Again, control key, left mouse, control key and left mouse. Maybe I can extend this here because I know there's no tree here and no tree. Once we have finished, we can press the enter key and the error is gone because this is a complete polygon, and we are ready to change its properties. So you can see the properties panel has changed. So to exclude the trees, we can click on vegetation. Oh, how many trees are there? But we don't want them, so we can use the slider tree density to bring the density down to 0. And we don't have trees. So let's see if there are other trees to remove. Yes, there are. So let's bring in another polygons. Objects, add polygon, blah, 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 and press enter. Vegetation density to 0. We can also duplicate polygons to have the same characteristic. So with a polygon on object selected, we can duplicate it and then move it where we want. So let's take a look at this gizmo. This is called the gizmo, where you can drag by clicking the left mouse if you click on the arrows in the proper direction, or moving in all direction if you click the square. And if you want to change a point, you should click on a point, and in the same way you can adjust your polygon. So let's see if there are other trees. Remove, of course there are, and we can duplicate again our polygon. I can't. You can, if you made a mistake, like I'm doing here, you can press Ctrl Z, and then you will have your error corrected. So let's click on the polygon and move it where we want, over the trees, and duplicate again. Now let's put it over the trees. Okay, I'm doing a very fast job just to let you understand how this works. So we got rid of the trees. There's another one here. And we have got rid of the trees. Okay, so look, this is another thing we have to do, because this river is too big, and we can narrow it down, but we should do that another time. Let's go back to our to the start of our runway. You know, we don't have a runway yet, so we can add that. So click on object and runway. Is the runway there? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There is a runway. So this is a 1.6 runway, and add it. That's nothing happens. But if you go to the scenario editor, we will have our runway. The orientation of this runway is like this. Okay, by the way, you can change between modes. Move is this mode where you have the squares, and if you click on the middle mouse button, you will get some rotate, and if you click again on the middle mouse button, you will have a scale option. Okay, so we must scale. We can of course eyeball the runway. Because we have a satellite imagery. So let's click on this point. Let's move it right there. Okay. Really, I don't want to be an asphalt runway here, because we don't have asphalt. So the pavement, no, it's not the pavement. It will be the material, and the material is gonna be transparent, because there is already grass in the Flex Sim, and you don't want to use the grass material for your runways, because it's pretty awful. So let's narrow it down. Okay, so I know that this is the start of the runway. I think this says it's okay. And this is the start of the runway. Okay, it should be about 620 meters long. And it is 622. Okay, so now we have our runway nicely placed, and I know that this runway has some overrun, either on 16 and 34. So let's make the pavements the primary overrun and the secondary overrun will be 150 meters each. 150 meter each. Again, press enter every time you write on the text box. It is not displayed, but if we go to the materials and we untick the transparent, we can see the primary and secondary overrun. But we want it transparent, so let's make it transparent and save scenery. Okay, so when clicking save scenery, as soon as we have added some polygons, we need to save them to another type of file, which is a shape file. So if you remember from before, our LIDL placement is in our where is that? Is our in our documents, our main folder. So it's here LIDL, Leniago, package sources, LIDL placement. Why is there a scenery? Ah, yeah, because I didn't, I forgot to change this more. No problem, we can do it. We can is in our LIDL placement, and this file, I'm gonna call that LIDL shapes. Nothing more than that, and save. So I want to change the name of my model lib folder because I don't want it there where I've seen them, where I see before. So we can go to our project and on model lib inspector, and I want it and my package sources. I don't want this folder, so I can delete that, and I want them in a folder called LIDL model lib because I want it there. And select this folder, and of course our output folder will be Memo Design li console, stupid console. Our output directory will be LIDL. How do they call that? Memo Design. LIDL Leniago. Save the project. Okay, we are good to go. So we have removed the trees, we have placed a runway, and you can see on the scenery, we want to make it usable in this first tutorial. We have this white, and you can recognize it. This is a cloud from the satellite image, and there are two ways of changing the satellite imagery. The best one is by using a nicer satellite imagery without a cloud. The fastest way is by using a polygon. So we can add another polygon, and let's add a polygon. And we can create a polygon a little bit smaller than the place we wanna cover. Okay, and that's our first change. And we can use this menu, material. So let's open the material editor, which is in Tools, Material Editor. Make it a bit smaller. You can click on All to search above all materials, and we can search for a grass texture. There are a lot of grass texture. We can click on Bitmap Preview to show us a texture which can be nice for our airport. So we can choose a texture that simply match the grass of our airport. And I like this one is a nice one. I often use that, but maybe this one is more adequate. Is more okay for this airport. So to use that, we can click and drag the texture over the three dots, and the texture is then applied. We don't need the material editor anymore. Of course, you can see there is Ctrl Z. There is a lot of difference between those two colors, but if we go to the coloration tab, we can colorize our texture. But prior than do that, we should use the fill off to merge this polygon to this scenery, to this texture. And the fill off is a meter, so we'll use maybe a 20 meters. No, it's too little. 40. Okay, 40 meters. And now we can see that is merging from this color to this color. But of course, this is a bit much too light. We want it a bit darker, so we can use the color picker to try to match the color of our background. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. It's not for the Okay, I think this is nice. So save our scenery. You know, no more asking for save the file because we already told the program that we have where we want to save the file. So let's go ahead by making a new polygon to do this part of the scenery. So add polygon, scenery editor, bam, bam. Okay, let's press save scenery every now and then because we don't want to lose our work. And okay, the basics are done. So to make the scenery usable, we have to do another thing to the runway because I forgot it. We have those two arrows. Those are the starting points, which you can choose in the Flight Simulator. The Flight Simulator menu. So we can change, but we should change them because they are in the middle of the runway. We don't want them there. So we can scroll down to the starting point or up to the starting point where they are. Runway start, okay. Primary start, let's click edit. Each one should be edited. Okay, and this one is the one starting point, and edit position far away, and another starting point. Okay, the start of the runway. Now let's make sure that the tail of our plane then don't go on the fence that we will be putting here. Okay, so we have our starting points. So we want to place some objects, and I want to place the cones on the runway. I go to the object scenery. Okay, so in this panel, you can see all the objects that are loaded from all our packages. The official folder, the default ones, and the community folder. So to see all the objects, to search among all the objects, you can click on all. And we should add the cone. So let's click for cone. I know that this is a red cone, an orange cone, orange and white. This is a red cone because it's written red. But how do you know what these objects are? zoom in a place where nothing is, click one-click placing, and as soon as you click on an object, you will see its preview. Okay, so this is a big cone, small cone, another cone. Okay, let's go for a red cone. And of course, this is not the right type of cone, so we have to do that in Blender. Okay, I like that. The cone red. I like to untick the unclick placement. Go back to the scenery editor. Sort of top-to-down view, and then we can add an object. And this is our cone. Oh, look how cute it is. So it's a bit, it's not perpendicular, so we should rotate it. Click two times to get to the gizmo, and if we pan, if we roll our camera, you can see that we can rotate on the green axis. Okay, we have 3 of them, so duplicate it and move, and duplicate and move. We can also box select by clicking the shift key on your arrow, on your keyboard, and by dragging the mouse. So we have 3 objects selected, and if we duplicate, the object will be duplicated. Okay, we need the same at the other end of the runway, so select, save scenery. Why in the hell? Can select more of them because I need to be in this location. Okay, this and this. Okay, select all and duplicate those babies and put them at the end of the runway in this position, pretty much this position. Yeah. Where are the other babies? They are submerged by grass. Yeah. Okay, pretty long grass we have here. So we have to delimit our airport with a polygon. And the polygon. And the prop and the polygon. We delimiting the airport area. So the sim knows that there's an airport here. Maybe it would cut the grass. So polygon, new polygon, view its properties because I close the panel. And this polygon will be a particular type, which is an airport area, and it is an extra small airport. So save scenery, and maybe the grass will get shorter. Okay, now we have an airport area. We have all our exclusions. We will be doing the other objects in the next episode. When you're done with your scenery, at any time, you can click the build all button. Before clicking it, I would love to open the console to see if there are any errors. So open the console. And this is the console. Let's clear the console and click on Behold to see if there are any errors. There are a lot of stuff here that are happening, but the important thing is that we have done something. So done is we have compiled something. We have 0 failed, and we have created into our project folder a scenery ready to be put in our community folder. So we can close now the sim. If we look into our project folder and is somewhere here. FS projects, LIDL Liniago. We have another folder called packages, and this one is the one you want to copy into your community folder. You want to put on flightsim.io to share with your friends, to see your scenery in the sim. And if we look into it, we see that there's a folder called scenery, and inside the folder scenery we have Mamo Design and IDL Liniago. Do you remember this? This is our output directory for our files. And if we open it, we have an LIDL.pgl, which is our replacement, and LIDL.modellib, which is our model lib, which is empty, and an LIDL.shapesys, which are our polygon. Okay, so let's quickly copy it in the Flex in the community folder, and let's see what we have got now. And now we are back to our main map. So let's pick our airport. Will be Liniago LIDL. Let's make it a bit brighter. Oh, a lot of stars. So, as you can see, we have now a star airport. Blah, 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 blah. A star airport, because we have put a star there. And we have our custom departures. So set the parameter for this departure. Now we're gonna click fly. So we are ready now, the developer camera. And we can use it. Can press Alt, developer camera. Whoa, 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 whoa. Great flight, great flight. So, as you can see, no more clouds here. And our cones at the start of the runway, here and there. So we've done a good job. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.